Hi my friends, I'm Gio, and welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, I write gay fiction, usually short, but sometimes long. I present it here on my channel. It's usually about men finding love with other men. I invite you to sit back and join us for a few minutes. What has gone before? Ian had found Rias after Rias had undergone a specialized nanosurgery to cybernetically replace his dying marrow and turn it into an artificial blood factory. But the surgery had failed. Ian helped Rias take control of the nanites and redesign himself. What started as a time of pain became a time of magic between Ian and Rias, culminating in Ian proposing to Rias. Then the power died. The AI network collapsed, and Rias fell out of the null-grav field supporting him and keeping him alive. This chapter takes place seconds after the other chapter ends. And now, chapter 24 of The Dark. South Dome. Medical. Rias. Screaming pain flashed all over my body. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't move. Terror and pain flooded my nervous system. I'm conscious, and I can't breathe. Breathe for him, Rowan yelled. Lips pressed against mine, filling my chest with air, then released. Somebody rhythmically pumped my chest. This cupboard only has towels, yelled a female voice. Keep looking, Rowan yelled. It was her that was pumping. Somebody breathed for me, their mouth insistent, a life-giving kiss. Stable heart rhythm achieved, my datapad said. I coughed and inhaled on my own, sputtered and inhaled again, and coughed. He's breathing, Ian yelled. I'm here, Rias. Pain, intense. My spine was on fire. It throbbed and thundered and ripped, and a noise filled the room. Horrible, desperate. Rowan, do something. He can't stop screaming, Ian yelled. Somebody was holding me. The pain shoved all thought out of my body. My throat was raw, and that horrible noise came from me. What's that leaking out of his back? Carruthers yelled. That's his blood, Ian screamed. He's dying in my arms and I can't do anything. He's going into convulsions, Ron yelled. Get him some blankets. Rias, it's okay. I'm here, Ian said. I couldn't think or breathe. Something shook. My hands, my body. It was me. Rowan, do something, Ian said. Alert, respiration, heart rate, blood pressure, all approaching dangerous levels, my datapad said. Rias, can you hear me? Hold my hand. Squeeze. Hard. Rowan's looking for something for the pain, Ian yelled. There's no power. All these cupboards are palm-locked. I can't get anything, Rowan yelled back. I can, Carruthers yelled. Something smashed. Shush. Keep squeezing my hand. You built it, remember? It can take it, Ian said, cradling me in his arms. It's okay. I've got you, and Rowan's finding medicine. None of these, Rowan said. Try the next cupboard. Something else smashed. Rias, focus past the pain, Ian said. It's what you do when you're creating. We have no communications, no power, no life support. Come up with a plan. This will do, Rowan yelled. A moment later, an injector pressed into my arm, and the pain reduced to manageable levels, and I wilted in Ian's arms. I stopped screaming. My throat was raw and sore and dry, and it hurt. I lay in the small waiting room, with Ian holding me and Rowan at my side. The floor was slick with a clear liquid, and hundreds of tubes protruded from every part of my body. Rowan bent over me, checking my eyes, checking something on my datapad. Her hand wiped the clear liquid on Ian's face and clothes, and she tested it between thumb and forefinger. Was that nanite fluid? Was that my artificial blood? Is he all right? Ian asked, wiping the liquid from his face. It glistened almost like Doc's nanogel. With whatever they did to him, I don't know, Rowan said. I think they planned to keep him in the null-grav field and nerve inhibitors for the next week while he recuperated. At least that's what I would have done. Something bumped against the door and flew away. The wind still howled outside, but the fury had lessened. Only a large dome breach could cause winds like that. Ian must have seen where I was looking and gently laid me on the floor, and he stood up. I don't like this. Does medical have any vac suits? I don't know, Carruthers said. I've only looked in this room and I didn't find any. There's mine, Ian said, and ran out of the room. A few seconds later he came back into the room carrying one. I'm sorry if it smells, but this is the one I was wearing on Shuttle 2 for the last week. You're wearing it so I don't have to worry about you. With the remains of the leaking tubes, the input leads, my datapad, and a final kiss, Ian and Rohan sealed me in the suit. It smelled of Ian. As soon as the helmet closed, my datapad projected on my display. Ian hadn't used any oxygen while piloting Shuttle 2, so the suit still had full tanks. Think, Rias. Get your mind moving. Ignore the pain, Ian said, and kissed my faceplate. It really hurts, I whispered. I know it hurts, and I'm sorry. I'm here, and somehow I'll get you through this, Ian said. Find us a way to communicate. The worse the event, the better you think. We're trapped in medical. No power, no way to communicate, and the dome is a vacuum. No heat, minimal gravity. We only have the atmosphere in the building, and when it runs out, we die. My arm hasn't been charged for days. There are other people in medical. Rowan can only do so much to help them. The only person who can help us is you. You have to keep the nanites working inside you and find out what happened to the domes and get us some help. No one is here to stop you from doing whatever you have to do. Ian took my hand and squeezed it. I love you. Now it's time for you to be Rias and figure out how all of us can survive. Ian was right. I had to focus past the pain. Ian and Rohan and Carruthers and everyone else in medical needed help. We needed communications, but we had no power. The holofield had shut down. Communications had shut down. The AI network had shut down. There was no thrum of distant atmosphere processors. I couldn't reach Mondre or the Adisha Char. But I had power. My datapad had power. Ian's arm had power, at least while the charge lasted. Let's see what a dying man can do with it. Datapad, I whispered, but my back spasmed and throbbed. Don't be a hero, Rowan said. She opened my faceplate, reached over, and pressed an injector into my neck. The pain dimmed, and I could think again. What do you think, love? Carruthers said. What's been done to him is too experimental, Rowan said. It's beyond anything I've even heard about. Datapad, Ian said. Sync directly with Rias' datapad and show his stats. I coughed and tried to sit up, but my back prevented me. I don't want you moving, Captain Rohan said. I should hate her because she wanted to take Ian away, but she was the only person with medical training here. Ian had proposed and wanted to stay. Blame your datapad for you being conscious, Ian said. My head was once again in his lap, and I looked at him. It connected directly to the AI modules in your spine, and somehow it hacked your nervous system and kept you breathing and your heart beating. What happened? I asked, as Ian took my hand. I lay on my side, near the entrance of medical, the only light coming from mine and Ian's datapads, and a faint glow through the viewports. Ian held me, my head on his lap. Carruthers stood at the viewport, staring outside. A bunch of cupboards were smashed open, their contents littered across the floor. I don't know, Ian said. Everything in South Dome shut down. Atmospherics, power, Madre heat, everything. It's a vacuum outside the building. Automatic systems shut the airtight doors and created some kind of small airlock at the entrance. We're trapped here. What about the rest of the domes? I asked, my voice hoarse. I can only see Central Dome, and it doesn't look right. Cloudy, kind of orange, and gray. It's not clear, Carruthers said. That's smoke, Rowan said. That will kill everybody almost as fast as a vacuum. Ian gripped my hand, hard. You mean we could be the last survivors of Noestra? I doubt that, Carruthers said. Middle of night boat? Most people would be home, in bed, so they'd be safe. Anybody outside who didn't get to a shelter would have died. Whatever Rohan had given me was working. It somehow dampened the pain receptors in my body. Instead of a violent throb, it was a dull ache everywhere. I shivered. Temperature's dropping, Carruthers said. Unless we get some kind of power, we'll be as cold as space in a couple of hours, but we'll have frozen to death before then. Medical always had an independent power source, Rowan said. It should have kicked in. I'll find it and see what's keeping it from working. Ian, I need you and your datapad to come with me. I need light, Carruthers said. I won't leave Rias, Ian said. We will all freeze without power, Rowan said, and placed pillows around me so I wouldn't roll. I'll watch over Rias and the other patients. It's life or death, so hurry. Rias, you can still sync with my arm, right? Ian asked. I've expanded the range of my datapad, I said, and faked a brave smile. I didn't want to let Ian know that even with the medication numbing some of the pain, it still hurt. They all left, and, with only my datapad to keep me company, I began to play with a couple of ideas. Rowan brought a woman in, Chef. She and my dad had worked the same shift a couple of years ago. She took one look at my face and swore, Rowan, he needs the power back on. I'm heading back to help your wife and Ian. Since I couldn't move, I couldn't help them with the power. I had to help them with my brain. Datapad, focus nanite reconstruction on my back and maybe do something about the pain, I said. We need colony-wide communications to see who else survived. What's your capabilities right now? Only 10% of my capacity is needed to direct the nanite flow and reprogram the AI modules attached to your nervous system. Do you wish to continue with oratory, ocular, and audio adjustments? My datapad said. Yes, I said. It's time to get inventive. The whole colony would be upset with me, because I wasn't about to ask permission. If I lay perfectly still, I didn't hurt as much. If the datapad could still sync with Ian's arm, what else was in range? My vac suit, but it had a smaller AI module. My datapad was still teaching the AI modules how to be AI modules. Dr. Tanaka might be good, but his AI modules weren't prepared for the task they had to do. I needed to find AI modules connected to an independent power source that ruled out Doc's equipment. But what else was there? Other vac suits? None were in range. Datapad, list all active AI modules in range. It found a dozen grav lifts. Each dome had a lot of grav lifts, and trams had AI modules, and the crawlers. Madri normally controlled all of them. How many could my datapad operate? They only needed a signal, and better yet, I could use their comm systems to extend my range. Datapad, create a partition to handle nanite functions and marrow rebuilding, and then create a second partition that will direct grav lifters and anything we can find. It's time to make a network. Display on my helmet, I said. With eye motions and voice commands, I took over the first grav lifter. This gave me something to do so I could focus past the pain throbbing up and down my spine. I sent out the signal, and my datapad synced with the next grav lift, and then the next one, and then the next one to that, and so on. Each connection expanded the range and added another AI to the network. In minutes, the datapad had connected all the grav lifts in South Dome. On my helmet, I created a map of Nuestra and organized the grav lifters to get the best coverage. With each new grav lift, I borrowed their range and extended my own. A ripple of pain shivered down my spine, and I closed my eyes and endured. Datapad, arrange the grav lifts for optimal communications link, I said, enduring the pain. Understood, it said. Your vital statistics have peaked in the red. I have directed 50% of the nanites to heal injuries. It took a moment before the pain eased. As the network extended, more grav lifts were found. In seconds, a couple hundred grav lift modules were displayed inside my helmet, and they began connecting to vac suits. Nuestrans were coming out by the dozens. Rowan brought Drendon in and sat him in a chair. They both stared at me before Rowan went back into the other rooms. Rias, what are you doing? Drendon said. Backup communications network, I whispered. Time to see how well this works. This is Rias. Can anyone hear me? I adjusted frequencies, using the most common ones Madre used. I needed an overhead view so I could coordinate grav lifters. I needed a drone. They were located in the spaceport, and the ones from the Adi Shachar were located in salvage. I set up 2 maps, a small one of what the nanites were doing inside my body, and one of the 5 domes with the ever-growing grav lifter network. As the datapad ordered each grav lifter into place, it opened up more possibilities. There was a crawler outside South Dome. Crawlers were designed with long-range comm units because they often had a long ways to go. I added that to the network, and I adjusted the frequencies. I tried broadcasting again. This is Rias. Can anyone hear me? Please respond. 100 voices all spoke at once. I chose one I recognized and focused on that one. Rias, this is Manuel. Aren't you in surgery? My old boyfriend said. No power in South Dome, and it's vac. No heat, no gravity, I said. Where are you? Stabilizing power to North Dome, Manuel said. Any crawlers there? I asked. 2. Why? I'm networking all the AIs together to make a comm network so we can talk to each other, I said. We can use the Adi-Shachar to act as madre, at least for communications. Tell me where you need them, Manuel said. I want a direct feed from the Adi-Shachar to 1, and then the other parked between North Dome and West Dome, near the reactor. Let me get some of the guys and we'll be right on it, he said. It wasn't long until the Adi-Shachar AI was back in the network, directing the grav lifters and crawlers, and suddenly I could reach every data pad. This is Rias. I've set up an alternate comm network while we figure out what happened. It's only one comm line for now, so emergencies only, please. Can anyone from CNC hear me? Roldan? Emilio? Carla? Val? Carla here. I was heading into South Dome when everything stopped. I'm stuck on the tram about halfway between North Dome and Central Dome. We have power, heat, and light, but no movement. Can you coordinate emergency crews from there? South Dome's in bad shape, and I think Central is also, I said. Rodriguez here. I have eyes on Central Dome. It's not pretty. Can anybody get inside and find out what's going on? Carla said. I can do that, some voice said. Elias, can you hear me? I said. Rias, Muñeca and me are a little busy. We've set up North Dome food courts as a temporary medical. There's been a lot of injuries, Elias said. Can you find someone to take roll call and find out who needs help? I asked. Karina's here. Sounds like a good project for her, Elias said. Anyone with medical skills head to North Dome, I said. Hector, if you can hear me, we need to find out what happened to South Dome. You are bossy today. Do you think you need to tell me my job? Who do you think you are, Emilio? Look outside your window. That's me and my crew, Hector said. I've had people checking the dome inside and out. We can't find any damage. I'm heading over to South Dome airlock because I heard you worked on it the other day, and you probably screwed something up. I told you not to try any of your tricks. If anybody died, it's your fault. Hector, would you get over yourself? Carla said. It took another 5 minutes, and the network reached clear into salvage and the Adi-Shachar's drones. I activated their drive units and set them sailing above the 5 domes, 1 per dome. They updated my display, and I sent the images to all the data pads. Nuestra looked bad. Central Dome was so filled with smoke, the structures inside were barely visible. South Dome was a clear, dark bubble. Not just the dome, but much of the life support machinery around it. North Dome, West Dome, East Dome, the reactor, salvage, and the crematorium gardens, and the spaceport looked like they did on a normal day, bright, welcoming spots on a dark asteroid. I needed more coverage. I contacted the spaceport. Gutierrez, are you anywhere near the spaceport? I need you to fly a shuttle in holding pattern above Nuestra. We need sensors, communications, and visuals, I said. Oswald, in shuttle maintenance, it's just me. If it's only hovering above the domes, I can do that, she said. Give me 10 minutes. I'm not near the spaceport, Gutierrez said. How are you holding up, Rias? He isn't, Ian said over the comlink. Where are you, Gutierrez? North Dome. A bunch of us are inside the tram tube to Central Dome to figure out why the tram is stuck and get it back to North Dome. Carla, are there any injuries on board? He said. No, there's 20 of us and we just coasted to a stop, Carla said. I arranged the drones and shuttles to fly above us, creating a better communications network. Carla, can you release the colony drones to me? We don't have coverage, I said. Done, though without Mondri I don't know what good they will do, she said. I twisted to try and get my back more comfortable. We have a backup AI. Adi-Shachar, say hello to everybody. Hello, I am the AI for the Adi-Shachar. My crew used to call me Adi. You may do the same. I am coordinating grav lifters and crawlers to create a communication network as directed by Rias Travieso, and I am now linking to the shuttle. There is a cargo hauler at the spaceport. May I suggest we use its capabilities to further augment communications? Good idea. Swift Current, I need you to release your drones and augment our communications and sensors, I said. Command authorization required, it said. In a way, this was ironic. I had to get permission before I could access a starship. I bet my datapad could sneak its way in, but it was already creating the communication network and keeping me alive. I wasn't going to push it. The good news? I knew someone who could get me permission. Captain Rowan, I need to talk to you, I said into my datapad. With the growing comm grid, datapads could now work. A moment later, she came into the small waiting room and stared at me. With all the maps and images on my display, I bet it created one weird visual. I said, I need access to the Swift Currents drones so they can fly above the colony and help monitor activity. I also need it to provide sensor coverage because it has a much longer range than the shuttles. Current, I authorize Rias Travieso for full comm and sensor access, Rowan said. I gestured, and the 6 drones of the Swift Current added to the growing network. With the Swift Current, we now had multiple comm channels. Something just flew over me, somebody said. Who is this and where are you? Carla said. Rodriguez, heading to Central Dome from West Dome, he said. It was a ship heading south. I am tracking an incoming Dagger XF, Shuttle 2 said. The Raiders? Are they coming to help? Manuel said. I don't think so, Ian said. They tried to kill me, Gutierrez, and Elias only days ago. That made something inside me cold. Whatever I could do to the Raiders, they deserved it. This is for Robinson, for Ian, for Rohan, and any of the other people they hurt or killed. Datapad, what's their trajectory? I said. Alert, incoming Dagger XF to South Dome airlock, my datapad said. It's time to play dirty, I said. Thank you, everybody. I can't wait until our next chapter. I guess I better start writing. Peace.